why they do certain things, and they said, and the speaker was saying, we really don't have good or bad days. What happens is when bad things, for example, when you stop your foot against the table or the chair, you know how toes seemingly have a very intimate relationship with tables and chairs. They always like to kick against them. It's crazy. Anyway, so when you have those kind of days, let's say you got robbed, let's say your car got vandalized, or even worse, stolen. Because you remember and focus a lot of the energies on those scenarios, that day becomes a bad day. And what's interesting, what the speaker said was, even when things are really bad, let's say you have a lot of bad things happen, right? That there are some people who have this ability to accept what has happened and then still say that this is a good day because something good happened, such as maybe a beautiful bird flew by, or maybe a baby smiled at them, or maybe they got to see a wonderful picture. When these things happen, they still go, despite these challenges, it is still a good day. It takes a lot of practice and energy to do that. Now, 10 minutes past the hour, and we're getting to a very serious conversation for this Monday morning. Very serious, because last year, during the elections, the very first part of this conversation, the first question of this conversation was hammered, tongue, thistle, brimstone, anvil. On this dial, on very many dials, there were advertorials, CSOs, paid for notifications. People did all they could to hammer on this particular issue, and yet something did not quite happen. The large response that was expected didn't happen. However, the fallout is where we are today on this jolly talk station.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
So in the news, in another development, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says there was a prevalence of vote buying and selling during the 2023 general election. Really? Wow. The NBS, in its report titled Corruption in Nigeria, Patterns and Trends, third survey no less, on corruption that is experienced by the population, said that the elections recorded 22%. Listen to this. 22% of vote buying, which is 5% higher than that of the 2019 general elections, with 17%. You beat that. Now, it said 22% of Nigerian citizens reported that they were personally offered money in exchange of a vote before or during the 2023 general election, with 9% saying they were offered another favor. I wonder what that favor was. But to the big questions this morning. Do you think the vote buying affected the election outcome? Second question. Are Nigerians now more aware of the consequences of their political actions? There were very incriminating videos. In fact, one of them, I remember, I think the persons involved were caught. They were arraigned, and then I think they were even charged, talking about individuals who were they bribed. They were trying to buy votes at the polling grounds. And how many of you got to see that video? I'm sure you probably saw several, but there was one very funny video, very incriminating, last year, where the individuals, right, in question went to a school or some sort, and then as the people were coming out, because they had them, the prospective voters, as they had them lined up, and as they passed, they passed them in cash, some measly sum in cash. They were buying votes. So it's over a year now I'm pretty sure the monies that they offered for those individuals, some would say it's small, 22%. Maybe it was more. Maybe just 22% they recorded. But whether more or less, the question is, are you more aware of the consequences of your political action? And do you think the buying of votes actually affected those elections? Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. Let's have a conversation now, shall we?
And now, hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
017-923-0003, 0817923-0003. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Some of you will probably not admit that you collected money for your votes. Some even postulate that they will collect money, but they will not vote any other person than their conscience, whatever it is. But the point here is, if 22, and this is not me, this is the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics saying that there was a 5% increase. 5%. You might say it's marginal. Maybe the CSOs, maybe all the well-meaning Nigerians and the groups and the imams and the preachers and the whatnot and the scientists and Scientologists, or whatever you want to call them, maybe their work actually paid off. It was only 5% increase, if it was. Zion, good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
That report turned not to be true.
Oh.
Vote buying was not what that characterized or marred the 2023 election.
So it did not affect it. That vote buying was not.
It did not affect it. You know what affected it? Should I tell you?
What did, please?
Number one, they hijacked the server that even the INEC chairman was perplexed. It was hacked. A jammer was built to bounce back all the results that I'm giving you a secret that nobody can tell you. Number two, the results were written in the office. So even if they sell vote or you buy vote, it's inconsequential.
That once again, that's your claim. But now we're focusing on just the buying of the votes. Because see, the second question, Zion.
No, you asked the question.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The second
was
what affected? You said no.
I'm telling you that is not what
fine.
I did.
So now, whether or not you or your cousins or your aunties collected money, are Nigerians now more aware of the consequences of their political actions? That's what I want to find out.
When they are hungry, he told you they don't know what they are doing. Thank God you are the one that brought up the cliche. We'll collect your money and we'll vote our conscience. To tell you that they know and they are aware of the consequences of their action.
They are aware.
But at that material time, they are hungry.
So,
at that material time, the political class have subjected them to poverty.
Fine.
So they rather collect that 3,000 to go buy fufu, buy soup, eat, and they don't care. And that is a problem.
Zion, thank you very much. Sam is no Bugolo. We have another call. I need to get as many calls on this as possible. Sam, are you aware? Good morning. Are you aware of what your actions may have in the future, the consequences? Are you more aware?
Yes.
You are more aware now?
Yes.
So would you, if I was to tell you, come and vote for me, for Jude's party, I give you 2 cartons of bole, will you vote?
Jude, let me tell you something.
Yes, please.
Buying of votes in Nigeria has become something that has come to stay. It's something that we cannot do without now, because it is increasing in every election. So the government cannot stop it.
Really? But you are the government. But you are the government. Are you saying that now that you know that if you are buying someone's votes, it's not going to lead to a great outcome? Are you saying you cannot stop? Are you saying you cannot resist my 2 cartons of bole?
No, Jude, let me there's something you need to understand. Even though I say I want to do the normal thing by selling out my vote. the people that will still win will still win.
That's not
They
true.
will still hijack it.
That's it. See, so that's another question now. The issue of hijacking and all the other discrepancies that occur during elections. That's obviously another conversation for another day. But as the electorate yourself, you have a choice to make. We have Kizito in mile 3. Heart is on NTO Road. But Kizito, go on first, please. Welcome.
No, Victor.
Oh, Victor. Apologies. Kizito's on my screen. Go on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Like Mr. Zan was trying to say or stress, I was a polling unit officer during the election of the last one we just finished. I tell you, what we were taught was different from what we saw. We were taught the beavers were supposed to be used to transmit. At the end of the day, by the time election was done, we were taught to now return to the LGI NEC office to now that we should transmit manually. That they will be the one to do the other ones.
Fine.
See, dude.
Wait, Victor. That's like I said, that's another problem. Well, we're focusing on how you, as an electorate, interact with the system. That we're not talking about all the other things that happen. So, from what you observed, those people who try to bribe, do you think that affected the election? Yes or no?
It didn't affect it because
fine. So that's where we get to the next question. So whether or not they're affected, do you think your people, your villagers, your neighbors, your girlfriends and boyfriends, do they know that their choices have consequences? Do you think they know now?
Even before this election, they already know. And even after this election, they knew quite well that it wasn't even their choice that is giving them the consequence they are having now. Hello?
I've listened to you, please.
Good. So it's the consequence they are passing through now is not because of their choice, because their choice was different from the consequence they are having, which means the outcome action.
Good morning.
The issue is at the budget that most times these politicians get when something is politics time, you are expected to recover that money. And when your person, after buying the vote and you get into power, you can't focus on development. You can't focus on doing things because you are bent at settling people who give in their money, who put in their resources, who took loan from banks, and all of that. So that is why whenever they lose the election, you see them running up and down. So I think we are beginning to know that vote buying or any political action or decision we take during election time will really, really affect us.
Victor, it's Umum Kushi. Victor, good morning to you.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, the only way vote buying will stop will be when we have good INEC, good electorate. If not, vote buying will not stop because there is no trust on them. This thing just as the other caller talked. They write it in the office. So whether you vote or what Nigerians believe is that whether you vote or you don't vote, what they are doing is not election, it's selection. So they don't believe in that voting. So they see it as an opportunity to collect the money. That's it.
All right. But here it is. If you ever wondered, just me thinking, if it really wasn't that important, then why do they do it? If it's not that important, why do they convince you not to take it seriously? If it's not important, why did they tell you that what will happen will happen? Why? Just thinking about it. It is. On one hand, I've read comments about this in the past few hours and days. Someone said, look, if it's just a 5% increase, it's bad. Some say if it's 5% increase, it's okay, considering what it could have been, which would have been widespread vote buy. Widespread. But here is the interesting bit. If it's not important, would they do it? Let me get on the break. When we come back, more. I'll read your messages as they've come this morning on Hello Port Harcourt. speed dial 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0002. That's for you to call us and have a conversation. Hear you. Would like for you to come through so we can hear you, air your thoughts on issues. And this issue this morning has to do with vote buying. Oh yes, and I'm looking at the consequences, particularly if the general public is better informed than they were, like say last year. Just wondering rather. Because, just in case you missed it, it was in the news, and I like to read the news once again very quickly for you, just in case, once again, that you missed it. Oh, by the way, WhatsApp is 0809. Some messages here. I'll just read the first 5. Can't keep up, but I'll read the first 5, please. So do bear with me, okay? So, here we are. We have it. In another development, the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS, says that there was a prevalence of vote buying and selling. See, vote buying and selling. For there to be a buyer, there was a seller. For there to be a seller, there was a buyer during the 2023 general elections. The NBS, in its report titled Corruption in Nigeria, Patterns and Trends, third survey on corruption as experienced by the population, said that the elections recorded 22% of vote buying, which is 5% higher than the 2019 general election at 17%. All right. So basically, people admitted that they were personally offered money in exchange of a vote before or during the general elections. But what always impresses me and gives me a bit of a frightful night when I remember it is that 9% that said that they were offered another favor. What other favor? Very curious. Maybe one day we'll focus on what those favors are. But anyway, for now, let's get back to you. As always, turn down the volume of the radio set. Please refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't see or hear. Do not make mention of it. And very importantly, keep your conversations civil.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
All right, so on WhatsApp, some Nigerians are not aware of their political actions during election. In fact, they are most focused on what the politicians are willing to give their hungry stomachs. Based on the last election results, a huge number of vote buying occurred amongst the INEC officials. And Nigerians are still not aware that hunger kills. Oh, are not aware till hunger kills. That's Brightner from Woji. Denzel says people keep saying that their choice was denied them by INEC. Does that denial include their choice of governors at their various states? If they say their choice wasn't given to them by INEC or for the federal election, why aren't they holding their choices of state governors accountable? He's asking in Port Harcourt. This one here says, good morning. We need to stop giving excuses for what is generally a failure of the society in this state. Lots of people knew that they were going to be vote buying. Did they refuse? No. Did they report? No. Yet, when the thing happened, everybody's saying that it was them, not them. Oh, okay. Everybody was saying it was them, meaning the other people, not they themselves, who should be held responsible for not acting. Interesting. Jude, good day. Nigerians are generally corrupt. No thanks to the failure of the family. Similar comment to the one I just read. The church, the school, and other agents of socialization. Elections are only a process for choosing those to take the blame. That's gift. All right, thank you very much. Asetico says this is just one of those political gimmicks used to dissuade attention from the actual issues that played out in the last elections. We are yet to learn because our outcomes isn't what we are seeing now. The strict cliche is you vote, you know vote, result will come out. So hinging our suffering to vote buying is like saying we will never be delivered from this darkness called leadership, because trying to stop hungry people from collecting these peanuts is like trying to stop reggae. Do you agree? Do you share a sentence? Let's get the phone lines now, right? 017-93-003, 017-93-007, right? At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. Find us on X. Muriel's on the line. Muriel, speak to us from Okrika. Good morning, Muriel.
Good morning, dude.
Good morning.
I don't think going to election results. We can with parties that you can collect money and then vote for your choice. So I don't think vote buying has anything to do with election results. It does not change anything.
Muriel, did you use where people were asked to verify that they voted for their preferred candidate before they got paid? Did you see that?
Look, dude, there are just very few of the persons that you can go to. You can call them to ensure that you verify. Monies are being paid before these people go out to vote. You don't tell them that go and vote before we give you money, So they get the money and they go and vote. So don't come and verify. How many people will you call to verify? Look, dude, I don't think vote buying does anything to our election. It's just fun that makes people to take money. And do you know that some persons will go ahead and take money for that candidate that they want to vote for ordinarily, and still go ahead and vote for the person? I want to vote for Peter, let's say, for example.
Interesting.
And if I see any chance that I can still get 5K and still vote for my preferred candidate, why not?
Why not? Interesting.
So, yeah.
Interesting. So now that you have this view from that experience, do you think Nigerians now know that there are consequences for their political actions? Do you think we now know?
The Nigerians know that their conscience was sorry.
There are consequences for their political actions. Do you think we now know, or at least most people know?
We know that there are consequences to it, but what we're getting is not the consequences of our actions. When we go, the results we got are not the consequences of our own actions. Results were just written, and now some people just gave us what they like. These are not consequences of our actions. We did not do anything to get to deserve this kind of government. Trust me, Jude. Trust me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have Aloze Rumigbo, but let's first get to hear from Harry, who's on the line from Obunabali. Harry, good morning to you.
Yeah, Judy, good morning.
Good morning.
Jude, talking about vote buying, this vote buying of a team, I want to tell us that vote buying is not mostly made by the voters. It is the returning officers that they bought that vote from. Like the professors. They civilize and they expose people, not the commoner who has made up his mind to say that this is the one I'm voting for. The commoners, those grassroots politicians, they are determined in anything they are doing. But come to the elite, those people who understand what money is meant for. These are the people that sell out the vote, that the commoner has voted in his unit and in his ward. So
that's no longer vote
buying. Let us also emphasize that maybe the commoner come and 10,000 vote this person. Those people will collect their 10,000 and still do what they would do. But at the end, the seller is the returning officer. Those who preside, those who, the professors, those people we call professors. These are the people. You can see it in River State. At the end, one professor determined that she cannot sell that vote. She will make sure that she publishes it the way it was when she was being threatened by a then governor. It's obvious. So let us not deceive ourselves that it is the commoners that sell votes. Ofiti Harry.
Harry, thank you very much. Aloze is speaking to us. Oh, dear, as Aloze from Rumigbo. Okay, all right. All right, Victor here says, good morning. We still have a long way to go in sensitizing. Jesus, what's wrong with me? Sensitizing the masses. I hold the media very gullible and responsible for a lot of these problems. We need more comments. We need more PSAs. And even the NOA should focus a lot more on letting the people know that their actions have severe consequences. We shouldn't wait before it's election time, before these things start playing out. Now, as we are here, Jude, we should be hearing these things. You should get experts experts to come on there to tell people that everything that they're experiencing could have been prevented, and better things are coming if they are more included and insistent on what they want as a government. Right. It's just like we just got a bit of a smack in there, blaming the media as well. Christian is on the lines, speaking to us from Eliozo. Christian, good morning. Did you collect?
Good morning, Mr. Jude.
How much did you collect for your votes?
I did not collect any money.
Okay, and
if I had my way, I would pay people not to collect money to vote.
Interesting. So, do you think the voting affected? Do you think the buying of the vote affected, the outcomes?
Yes, it did. But then, vote buying in the last election was done at different stages of the election. Like the commoners, like the electorate, vote buying at that level was very minimal. But because in the last election, many people were devoted to vote their conscience, no matter how they were influenced with cash. But then, after that level, the votes were bought by these guys at the collection centers. And that's the highest level of it. If you notice, if you check, let's use Riverside for instance, if you check the uploaded results on the IRF website, you will see mutilated results. My own polling unit here in Obiabo, that I stayed and counted the votes, people refused to sell their votes and voted their consent.
Interesting.
But to our greatest shock, I went to the IRF website. We saw a mutilated result of my polling unit.
So at
the hands of those returning officers.
So basically, it's still the same thing. The vote buying, however, whether it was at the electoral level or the processing level, still occurred. Now,
yes.
Are you of the opinion that the people, and when I mean the people, I mean everybody involved, do you think they are more aware of the consequences of their actions politically?
Well, they are aware of the consequences of their action. They were aware, and they didn't care because they needed to eat.
All right. Alaze, all right, thank you very much. Alaze is in Rumigbo. Alaze, go on. Good morning, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Go on, please, very quickly.
Jude, the issue on this course, vote buying, is a pandemic in our electoral system. That if time is not taken, it will keep on recurring in every election year, particularly in Nigeria. See, the vote buying is not only for the electorate. We have 3 persons whom the candidate or its supporters buy this vote from: the electorate, the PO, and the INEC. And the people who sell these votes, for me, is not the electorate. Because to a large extent, if you will recall what happened in 2023, last election, you will see some persons, even in the polling unit, results will be called, one political party will pass. But at the collation center, down to the INEC office, you will see those results mutilated, result sheets mutilated. Votes will transfer to the other party to another party.
Okay, so that's you are only echoing what the previous caller made mention of, right? But the big question is whether it's the poll officer or the down officer, everybody is involved. The question is, do you think that the general public now knows that those actions, good or bad, right or wrong, depending on the side you divide your, do they know that it has long-lasting effects? That's the big question.
Fine. People, I won't say that everybody knows, because there are some persons who doesn't have the information.
Okay. Alaze says some people don't have the information. So how do we get that information out? Omo is in Uniport. Omo, good morning to you very quickly.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I condemn vote buying, and I'm not a part of vote buyer. And who are those buying vote? Those are the ones who are talking. Nigeria are not ready for an election yet. Because one, if you talk about vote buyer, those, can you remember the time of Goodluck Jonathan? All of us voted our heart, and the vote were by at the top. So look at this one. We all vote for Obi. Most of us vote for Obi. We're supposed to be. But all of us voted for Obi. Get them because they buy the vote from above. Who are those buying the vote? Who are the vote buyers? So I beg, Nigeria are not ready for election yet. Thank you very much.
Not ready for the election. Hello, good morning. Oh dear. All right, that was Thank God from Egbema. Well, are you aware? Would you be exchanging? Don't forget, it's not just in River State. In some states of the federation, they're going to have issues with the electoral processes because local government elections are coming. Are you aware? Would you be collecting some nairas and putting your thumb? You decide. Whether it's at the electorate level, like our listeners have been saying today, or is at those who are meant to sort and sift through. You aware will actually call it. Let me straight back of this conversation with your messages after this.